G'day guys, James from Holt Productions here. Just want to talk about the BKK Harpax jig heads and the lures that they suit in our range. Been using the BKK jig heads for a while now, and there's a few reasons why. The hook keepers suit our lures really well. The profile of the jig head suits the lures well, and the hooks, as everyone knows, BKK are super sharp. They're just an all-round perfect jig head. So we're fishing for these dewies here, and jig head selection on soft plastics is so important. You want to be hitting the bottom, but not too fast and not too slow. You want a nice amount of sink where you making contact with the bottom consistently, and you're going to get more bites. So making contact with the bottom now, 2 hops, making contact. So we've got a little bit of tide flow, started a really big incoming tide, sitting in 4.2 metres of water, 1/4 ounce jig head on a 4-inch plastic. So what I'll do is if it picks up even more, I'll go to a 3/8. If I stop hitting the bottom nicely, and if the tide slows down, I'll go down to a 1/6. And when it's fluttering down, you're going to get more bites. What happens if you're using too heavy a jig head, you're going to be bombing the bottom, whereas you really want to be hitting the bottom, 2 hops, and then have a controlled drop back down. Yep. So we're trying to get a bigger fish through these smaller ones. So we've gone up to the 4-inch prawn and the 1/4 ounce 2.0. And got a little bit of a better fish. They're starting to get bigger. So we'll start with the 3 and 4-inch shrimp prawn. On the 3-inch shrimp prawn, we're running a 1/0 hook and weights from 1/8 to 1/4. 4-inch prawn, 3/0 hook, weights from 1/4 to 3/8. You can basically fish for any species in the estuary and cover any water depth. Yep. Say Trevally. So just landed this Cale Cale Trevally. You might not know what it is because they're not super common, but this is one of my favourite fish, probably my favourite fish to target and catch, but I don't get many of them. They're a super fast fish, as you've seen from that first run, and they're just an incredible looking fish. So next lure in the range is a swim minnow. We're running them on a 1/0 hook, weights from 1/8 to 1/4 depending on depth again. One thing I really like about the BKK jig heads on this thin profile is it doesn't bulge the plastic and it sits over perfectly. So we've got the 5-inch shrimp prawn here. This is the biggest lure in our range, purpose built for barramundi. So it matches perfectly with a 6/0 BKK Harpax. Super strong hook, built for those serious fish. So that's the jig heads that I use on a day-to-day basis. All the ones that suit the Holt Productions lure range. So if you're after a super strong, reliable jig head, check them out.